Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Blue Jays Today. We're your boys. We always got something to say about the Toronto Blue Jays. I'm your host, Adam Battle.
And I'm your host, Nicholas Playlog. Breaking news, everybody. The Toronto Blue Jays have officially offered Juan Soto a contract. There we go. The numbers on the table. They're going all in for it. However, they are also alongside, the other usual suspects. We're going to break that down. What does this mean for the Juan Soto sweepstakes and much more? Before we do, please make sure to hit the like, smash the subscribe button. Let us know your thoughts about all of this in the comments down below. Now, it was just revealed that the Toronto Blue Jays, alongside the New York Yankees, New York Mets, Los Angeles Dodgers, and Boston Red Sox, have all made offers to Juan Soto. Now, these offers apparently were submitted last week. That timeline does check out because I believe it wasn't last week, but it was the week prior that they had their kind of first impressions meeting of, well, this is what our plan is, this is who we got, this is how we want to make the playoffs, and then, of course, a week after that, all these teams get together and they go, all right, how much money are we willing to blow on this guy? This is the number that we came out with, and apparently the Toronto Blue Jays came out with a number and gave it to Juan Soto's agent.
Yeah, that's very exciting stuff, right? I mean, we always kind of had the feeling that we were going to offer him a contract. Now, are we going to get him? That's a question to be answered later on. But thinking about the number that we're going to be offering him, apparently the Blue Jays, and this is no surprise to anybody right here, apparently the Blue Jays are looking to offer a lot of money and will likely overpay for literally a lot of guys. Now, Bob Nightingale, we talked about this in our Blue Jays Today show yesterday. He said the Blue Jays are most likely to overpay because of the fact that we are very desperate with...
We don't got shit.
We don't got anything, right? We got Boba Shed on a one-year deal. We got Vladdy on a one-year deal. So overpaying for guys on longer contracts is our way of keeping this franchise alive and keeping our hopes of the playoffs alive as well. However, Bob Nightingale goes on to say that, because of that, because we don't have guys in place right now on this team beyond 2026, that Juan Soto won't come to this team. And I've got to really disagree with Bob Nightingale here. I do think if the price is right, he will be willing to come over to Toronto, especially with the rumors that he might be looking for opt-outs in his deal that might favor him. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, here's the thing. I agree with you because I do think that Bob Nightingale just contradicts himself there. Now,
right.
I mean, I think it's very fair to say that the New York Mets are like the odds-on favorite, and it does feel like as time progresses, they're running away with the race a little bit. But, you can't come out and say that the Toronto Blue Jays are the most likely team to overpay for Juan Soto, a guy who a lot of people, I believe Bob Nightingale as well, has referenced as being somebody who really prioritizes the money. So Blue Jays are most likely to overpay for a player who is looking for money, and that means that we're not in the race? No, it doesn't add up. If they're going to go out and they're going to overpay for somebody, then that should mean that they are more in the race than a team like the New York Yankees, for instance, who have already been rumored to be kind of, skeptical about spending all of their money. So I do agree with you that if the Blue Jays are serious about overpaying, well, that alone should put them in the race for Juan Soto, especially because some of those contracts, rumors, that he's looking for include a bunch of, I don't want to say shady stuff, but
insurance.
Unusual, exactly, insurance and an unusual contract makeup.
No, I do like this little rumor right here from Ryan M. Spader. He apparently Juan Soto is seeking a 12 to 14 year deal. Now, you covered this on a short recently for $45 million with opt-outs after the third and fourth season.
$45 million a year. I mean,
$45 million a year. Yeah.
That's an important caveat.
Of course. So third and fourth seasons is what he's looking for these opt-outs. Now, I think that might be in place. I'm speculating here for teams like the Toronto Blue Jays, where there's a little bit of risk involved for Juan Soto. Yes, he's talked about he wants to get a lot of money, but he also said, I want a team that can promise me that I can win. There's no promise from the Toronto Blue Jays that you can win in the next 3 to 4 years. We've seen it happen time and time again. This team failing to come up clutch in the playoffs, failing to even make the playoffs the last 5 years sometimes. So for Juan Soto's sake, if I do get a high offer from the Toronto Blue Jays, including a 3 or 4th year opt-out where maybe things aren't going right, maybe I am still performing well, and I'm the only one on this team, and I'm kind of tired of this, maybe I do want to go opt-out and go play for somebody else that is, having the money and who's competing well. And from a Toronto Blue Jays standpoint, I completely agree with that sentiment. Look, if he wants to go opt out, we failed you. We tried our best. We have to do everything to provide you with a winning team. And if you truly want to go opt out and play somewhere else, well, that's the way it has to go. What do you think about that?
I got a couple different thoughts because actually, no, keep it on there. Keep it on there because I like what the first guy says right here in the comments. And I think that that's a valuable thing, right? It's like, you give me the biggest contract of all time in MLB history. Don't expect me to be loyal. Because I think that that's another way of looking at this, right? Sure, there's the whole element of, well, this team sucks and, I want to win and all that stuff. But there's also an element of, well, are you going to play really good for us and we're going to plan to build around you? And, even if we are playing good baseball and we are making the playoffs, well, you're just going to go hit free agency because you want more money? Like that, for me, I don't love the idea of, and I would imagine that other baseball teams, like executives, probably don't love that idea either. Now, if getting Juan Soto on, said deal, a 12-year, $45 million deal, $45 million per year deal, which, by the way, works out to be $540 million total. That's the math there. If that's the only way, including the opt-outs as well, to get Juan Soto to be a Toronto Blue Jay, then you do what you got to do, right? Like if that's the only way that you can get him here, well, I guess that is what it is. Would I prefer those opt-outs to be mutual options,
right?
Where we get to decide, and you get, because hey, maybe you're not playing good, or maybe like you're getting injured a bunch or something like that, or alternatively, like, well, maybe the team isn't going where it needs to go and we want to do something else, then I think that would be a lot better. However, of course, if that's the only way to get Juan Soto over here, then you do what you got to do.
That's the thing, right? We talk about leverage a lot on this channel. I think if anybody's got leverage right now, it's Juan Soto. I mean, it's the Yankees, the Mets, the Dodgers, the Red Sox, and the Blue Jays. The most historically baseball
much
teams,
as big market as you can get.
Teams, like you have everybody screaming for you, and if literally you are matching toe to toe with the Yankees in terms of dollars, but you're giving him the option after the 4th year to leave, he might actually go look at, and maybe there's a part of him that wanted to go try Toronto, but he's a little bit worried, and if that's the thing that's going to convince him, then you go do it. Because if you ask me personally, would you rather not have Juan Soto or want Juan Soto? I hear your point about loyalty, but again, like, this is the best player in baseball at this current moment, other than Shohei Ohtani, best position player. I think I got to give him what he wants, whatever he needs.
Yeah, no, and I do hear that, right? I think we can all agree that getting Juan Soto on this baseball team would significantly improve the Toronto Blue Jays for the period of time that he is here. Now, will Ross Atkins and Mark Shapiro actually do that? Whoa, time for a quick shout out to the sponsor of this video. Hit your picks and knock it out of the park with Betway. Scan the QR code down below to join the action. Only available in Ontario. Must be 19 years of older to participate. Please play responsibly. Now, everyone, back to the content. Well, apparently they have submitted the offer. We are not privy yet to what that offer is. I imagine that as time goes on, I don't know if we're ever going to be able to get the actual number or the actual details, but I think that some stuff is going to start to get leaked out. You're going to hear a number, might even come from Scott Boris's camp, and just to try to get people to keep one-upping each other. But we're going to hear a number coming out very soon. I would anticipate, though, that Toronto Blue Jays, if they're in this race, they know where they need to roughly sit. So I would guess that there's got to be a $550 million offer on the table from their standpoint at minimum.
Yeah, at minimum, right? And we've even heard speculations of 600, upwards of freaking $700 million. And that's because, look, you do have the two New York teams that are both going to be very aggressive. One being the Mets, a little bit more aggressive than the Yankees right now. And that's the word that, like, well, of the two favorites, it's probably going to be the Mets. But do not count out the Boston Red Sox. I've been looking in the last few days about the Boston Red Sox. We talked about it on Bad for Baseball. They're being extremely aggressive right now. Yeah. They're just like the Toronto Blue Jays. They want to make a change in their franchise. This is the move to do it. They got a lot of money as well, right? Yeah. And they have the opportunity to do so. So I wouldn't count them out either. So if you got us, the Red Sox, and Mets, that alone, not even including the Yankees, those are three teams that are extremely desperate that could drive up that price. Yeah, $650, $700.
I don't know if well, it's tough to say because I'm not familiar with how much the Boston Red Sox are willing to spend. Right. But just from a pound for pound, what we can sell you on from a team standpoint, I think I prefer their argument to the one that the Toronto Blue Jays have, because they do have their star player locked up for a long period of time.
They do.
Probably the closest comparison to anyone in the MLB, or closest comparison to Vladimir Guerrero Jr., to anyone in the MLB is Rafael Devers.
Right.
And that guy is on a, decade-long contract already, right?
Great deal.
And they won 81 games last year without Juan Soto. So what does that mean for them, in the following year type thing? Well, could be pretty good. So, yeah, I mean, I think that the Toronto Blue Jays are in the race behind the 8 ball. But if we are willing to overpay, like Bob Nightingale has suggested, then I don't think that means that we are, further away from what he's saying. I mean, I would argue that puts us hopefully in front of some of these other teams.
Yeah, I really hope so, that we can get that deal done, or just get the deal done in general, because we have a lot more holes to fill up. I know we're already gonna get comments about, oh, we need bullpen, oh, we need pitching, we don't need Juan Soto. Well, let's go get this deal done. Somebody get this deal done so we can move on and complete this
That's
team.
Honestly maybe what I'm most excited about in terms of this. Like, once Juan Soto is off the board and finished, Blue Jays can move on, whether you got him or you didn't, right? And we do not want to have what happened last year happen to us again, where you're waiting on Shohei Ohtani, Shohei Ohtani goes, oh, Jesus, we are screwed now.
Right.
This has got to get done, and hopefully it gets done prior to the winter meetings, which are coming up in the first or second week of December. So then, well, if you have them, great. If not, we can pivot.
Absolutely. Guys, let us know your thoughts in the comments down below about this Juan Soto news and rumblings. And $3 about to become a Patreon member. Shout out, thank you to all of our current Patreon members and to our YouTube members as well. You guys are absolutely awesome.
Thank you so much for watching, everybody. And as always,
Go Jays, go!